Okay, let us continue. This is the book of the words of righteousness, and of the reproof of the watchers who belong to the world, according to that which he who is holy and great commanded in the vision. I perceived in my dream that I was now speaking with a tongue of flesh, and with my breath which the Mighty One has put into the mouth of men, that they might converse with it, understand with the heart. As he has created and given to men the power of comprehending the words of understanding, so he has created and given to me the power of reproving the watchers. So, I can hear you and you can hear me. I think, maybe. What do you think? The offspring of heaven. I have written your petition, and in my vision it has been shown me, that what you request will not be granted you as long as the world endures. Judgment has been passed upon you. Your request will not be granted you. From this time forward, never shall you ascend into heaven. He has said that on the earth he will bind you as long as the world endures. But before these things you shall behold the destruction of your beloved sons, you shall not possess them, but they shall fall before you by the sword. Neither shall you entreat for them nor for yourselves, but you shall weep and supplicate in silence the words of the book which I wrote. A vision thus appeared to me. Okay, what's going on here? Let's take a step back. Enoch, right? Enoch he's in the courtroom. He's the judge, right? He's in the center of the story. And he is passing judgment, right? So whether he's passing judgment, this could be prophecy, but so this is Enoch traveling through time and becoming the judge. Enoch is at the center of all this. Okay, this is a man who would love video to probably make movies and shows. He's a ham, I think is the word, right? Ham is like a innocently trying to get attention. Anyways, maybe I'm wrong on that, but that's kind of what I see. He's in the courtroom, he's there. We don't need to be there. Even if it's our time, we don't need to be there. He's done it for us. So thank you, Enoch. A vision thus appeared to me. Again, best Jew ever. If I'm correct, I could be wrong. Behold, in that vision, clouds and a mist invited me. Agitated stars and flashes of lightning impelled and pressed me forward, while winds in the vision assisted my flight, accelerating my progress. They elevated me aloft to heaven. I proceeded until I arrived at a wall built with stones. Stones of crystal. A vibrating flame surrounded it, which began to strike me with terror. Now, you'll see flame and fire. That is righteousness. That's what I see. Any other interpretations, I'll listen to, but I think that's pretty strong. Fire, flame, righteousness. Into this vibrating flame I entered, and drew nigh to a spacious habitation built also with stones of crystal. Its walls too, as well as pavement, were formed with stones of crystal, and crystal likewise was the ground. Its roof had the appearance of agitated stars and flashes of lightning, and among them were cherubim of fire in a stormy sky. A flame burned around its walls, and its portal blazed with fire. When I entered into its dwelling, it was hot as fire and cold as ice. No trace of delight or of life was there. terror overwhelmed me, and a fearful shaking seized me. Violently agitated and trembling, I fell upon my face. In the vision I looked, and behold, there was another habitation more spacious than the former, every entrance to which was open before me, erected in the midst of a vibrating flame. So greatly did it excel in all points, in glory, in magnificence, and in magnitude, that it is impossible to describe to you either the splendor or extent of it. Okay. Its floor was on fire, above were lightnings and agitated stars, while its roof exhibited a blazing fire. Attentively I surveyed it, and saw that it contained an exalted throne, the appearance of which was like that of frost, while its circumference resembled the orb of the brilliant sun. There was the voice of the cherubim. From underneath this mighty throne rivers of flaming fire issued. To look upon it was impossible. One, great in glory, sat upon it, whose robe was brighter than the sun, and whiter than snow. No angel was capable of penetrating to view the face of him, the glorious and the effulgent, nor could any mortal behold him. A fire was flaming around him. A fire also of great extent continued to rise up before him, so that not one of those who surrounded him was capable of approaching him. Among the myriads of myriads who were before him, to him holy consultation was needless. Yet did not the sanctified who were near him depart far from him either by night or by day? Nor were they removed from him. I also was so far advanced, with a veil on my face and trembling. Then the Lord, with his own mouth, called me, saying, "Approach hither, Enoch, at my holy word." He raised me up, making me draw near even to the entrance. My eye was directed to the ground. Okay, again, we have to go with this imagery stuff, okay? So this is the image of God. So if this is the image of God, what Enoch is saying is that this should be your image, right? Think about you starting shit with yourself that doesn't need to be started all the time from every direction. You see, you think about the coming of age movies. Right, you think about a coming of age movie, and it's the loss of innocence, and yada yada yada. Well, it's like Moses would have a coming of age movie, but his movie doesn't end there, and there's a rediscovery of innocence. I mean, innocence can only be described as spiritual freedom, right? So, I mean, oh my goodness, there we go. I mean, this is a heaven of uber freedom, right? I mean, this is, Enoch has a German heart, right? Innocence. Like this is a description of a man who is just innocent. He is a man who has re-entered the Garden of Eden, confident. Let's look at Enoch. I mean, oh my goodness, this is the most confident man ever. I mean, it's just oozing out of his pen. The myriads of myriads. I mean, that means there's a lot of pimps in heaven, right? Boom, 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 boom. My eye was directed to the ground. Okay. Then, addressing me, he spoke and said, Hear, neither be afraid, O righteous Enoch, thou scribe of righteousness. Approach hither and hear my voice. Go say to the watchers of heaven, who have sent thee to pray for them, You ought to pray for men, and not men for you. Wherefore have you forsaken the lofty and holy heaven, which endures forever, and have lain with women, have defiled yourselves with the daughters of men, have taken to yourselves wives, have acted like the sons of the earth, and have begotten an impious offspring? You being spiritual, holy, and possessing a life which is eternal, have polluted yourselves with women, have begotten in carnal blood, have lusted in the blood of men, and have done as those who are flesh and blood do. These, however, die and perish. Therefore have I given to them wives, that they might cohabitate with them, that sons might be born of them, and that this might be transacted upon earth. I like that word, transacted. It's just, I don't know. But you from the beginning were made spiritual, possessing a life which is eternal, and not subject to death forever. Therefore I made not wives for you, because being spiritual, your dwelling is in heaven. Okay, boom. I said earlier, I think Enoch is a Jewish religious leader, a rabbi who believes in a celibate rabbiship. And, I mean, let us look at Enoch. Who is this mysterious Enoch, right? We'll see that he's an astronomer, right? He's an astronomer. He's a fucking geologist, right? He's, he knows about the deciduous trees. I mean, this is a nature guy, like Darwin. I mean, he's a scientist and a poet, right? So he believes in God the maker, the craftsman, the science and art of a thing. This is a very accomplished man. And so, you think about, like a James Bond or a Batman type figure, right? These are men of heroic hard work, right? I mean, if you want to ascend, like it looks like Enoch has, he's a pretty badass man who loves his rest as well. I mean, sometimes he just can't hear it. So I think he believes in celibacy. It really sounds like this is what he is saying here. So, I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, to me, I don't know. I don't see anything else other. Polluted yourself with women. You possessing a life which is eternal, right? You have forsaken the lofty and holy heaven. That's the temple, right? All right, giants. Now the giants who have been born of spirit and of flesh shall be called upon the earth evil spirits, and on earth shall be their habitations. Evil spirits shall proceed from their flesh, because they were created from above. From the holy watchers was their beginning and primary foundation. Evil spirits shall they be upon earth, and the spirits of the wicked shall they be called. The habitations of the spirits of heaven shall be in heaven, but upon earth shall be the habitation of terrestrial spirits who are born on earth. The spirits of the giants shall be like clouds, which shall oppress, corrupt, fall, contend, and bruise upon the earth. They shall cause lamentation, no food shall they eat, and they shall be thirsty. They shall be concealed, and shall not rise up against the sons of men and against women, for they come forth during the day of slaughter and destruction. And as to the death of the giants, wheresoever their spirits depart from their bodies, let their flesh, that which is perishable, be without judgment. Thus shall they perish until the day of the great consummation of the great world. A destruction shall take place of the watchers and the impious. And now to the watchers, who have sent thee to pray for them, who in the beginning were in heaven. Say, in heaven have you been. Secret things, however, have not been manifested to you. Yet have you known a reprobated mystery. I mean, this, I'm like, this is sealed to me right here. So, any ideas? But it's good stuff, huh? I think so. And this you have related to women in the hardness of your heart, and by that mystery have women and mankind multiplied evils upon earth. Say to them, never therefore shall you obtain peace. They raised me up into a certain place where there was the appearance of a burning fire. And when they pleased, they assumed the likeness of men. They carried me to a lofty spot, to a mountain, the top of which reached heaven. And I beheld the receptacles of light and of thunder at the extremities of the place where it was deepest. There was a bow of fire and arrows in the quiver, a sword of fire, every species of lightning. When they elevated me to a babbling stream and to a fire in the west, which received all the setting of the sun, I came to a river of fire, which flowed like water and emptied itself into the great sea westwards. I saw every large river until I arrived at the great darkness. I went to where all of flesh migrate, and I beheld the mountains of the gloom, which constitute winter, and the place from which issues the waters in every abyss. I saw also the mountains of all the rivers in the world and the mouths of the deep. I thus surveyed the receptacles of all the winds, perceiving that they contributed to adorn the whole creation and to preserve the foundation of the earth. I surveyed the stone which supports the corners of the earth. I also beheld the four winds which bear up the earth and the firmament of heaven. I beheld the winds occupying the exalted sky, arising in the midst of heaven and of earth, and constituting the pillars of heaven. I saw the winds which turn the sky, which cause the orb of the sun and of all the stars to set. And over the earth I saw the winds which support the clouds. I saw the paths of the angels. I perceived at the extremity of the earth the firmament of heaven above it. Then I passed on towards the south, where burnt both by day and night 6 mountains formed of glorious stones. La la la. Glorious stones. Where am I? Okay, there's one thing I have not unlocked yet is the meaning of the directions. You'll definitely see directions coming up. But directions are sealed to me. But we're seeing directions right now. South, north, yada yada. Glorious stones, 3 towards the east and 3 towards the south. Those which were towards the east were of a variegated stone, one of which was of margarite, and another of antimony. Those towards the south were of a red stone. The middle one reached to the heaven like the throne of God, a throne composed of alabaster, the top of which was of sapphire. I saw too a blazing fire hanging over all the mountains, and there I saw a place on the other side of an extended territory where waters were collected. I likewise beheld terrestrial fountains deep in fiery columns of heaven. And in the columns of heaven I beheld fires which descended without number, but neither on high nor into the deep. Over these fountains also I perceived a place which had neither the firmament of heaven above it nor the solid ground underneath it. Neither was there water above it, nor anything on wing, but the spot was desolate. And there I beheld 7 stars like the great blazing mountains, and like the spirits entreating me. Then the angel said, This place until the consummation of heaven and earth will be the prison of the stars, and the host of heaven. The stars which will roll over fire are those which transgressed the commandment of God before their time arrived. For they came not in their proper season. Therefore he was offended with them, and bound them until the period of the consummation of their crimes in the secret year. Then Uriel said, Hear the angels who cohabitated with women and appointed their leaders, and being numerous in appearance made men profane, and caused them to err, so that they sacrificed to devils as to gods. For in the great day there shall be a judgment with which they shall be judged until they are consumed, and their wives also shall be judged, who led astray the angels of heaven, that they might salute them. And I, Enoch, I alone saw the likeness. And I, Enoch, I alone saw the likeness of the end of all things. Nor did any human being see it as I saw it. Okay. These are the names of the angels who watch. Uriel, one of the holy angels who presides over clamor and terror. Raphael, one of the holy angels who presides over the spirits of men. Raguel, one of the holy angels who inflicts punishment on the world and the luminaries. Michael. No, it'd be Michael, one of the holy angels who, presiding over human virtues, commands the nations. Sarachiel, one of the holy angels who presides over the spirits of the children of men that transgress. Gabriel, one of the holy angels who presides over Ikisat, over paradise and over the cherubim. Okay, well, there you go. There's the angels. Now, of course, I don't know I don't know any of the meanings of any of these named angels. Gabriel means power, right? So, like, let's not think literally, like power, right? And maybe there's a relationship between power and paradise. Right, the angels, the cherubim, they're the folk that are always singing, It's like, yeah, no more bitches, no more bitch. So, but like more deeply though, if you are a maker and resolute, then that's all you need. Maybe something like that, like power. Like I'm talking about power over your will. That's true power. Power over a stupid idiot is not real power. That's humiliating for both parties involved. But we're going to see Uriel, who's going to preside over clamor and terror. Then I made a circuit to a place in which nothing was completed, and there I beheld neither the tremendous workmanship of an exalted heaven nor of an established earth, but a desolate spot, prepared and terrific. There too I beheld 7 stars of heaven, bound in it together, like great mountains and like a blazing fire. I exclaimed, for what species of crime have they been bound, and why have they been removed to this place? Then Uriel, one of the holy angels who was with me and who conducted me, answered, Enoch, wherefore dost thou ask? Wherefore reason with thyself and anxiously inquire? These are those of the stars which have transgressed the commandment of the Most High God, and are here bound until the infinite number of the days of their crimes be completed. From thenceforward I afterwards passed on to another terrific place, where I beheld the operation of a great fire blazing and glittering, in the midst of which there was a division. Columns of fire struggled together to the ends of the abyss, and deep was their descent. But neither its measurement nor magnitude was I able to discover, neither could I perceive its origin. Then I exclaimed, how terrible is this place, and how difficult to explore! Uriel, one of the holy angels who was with me, answered and said, Enoch, why art thou alarmed and amazed at this terrific place, at the sight of this place of suffering? This, he said, is the prison of the angels, and here they are kept forever. Okay, now it looks like we're going to go on to Raphael. So we started with Uriel, right? And so what do we see here? We see terror, right? So I say that this is a post-Mosaic Jew, and Uriel is Uriel is oh, come on. No. That's not a sign. Okay. There's no sign in that. You know what? I think it's a sign that we shouldn't do that pen. Indeed. There we go. This one's not going to work either, huh? Okay. Uriel is a terrorist. Right? I mean, this is a different type of heaven, right? This is Überfrieden. So what I mean, what is all this place, or what does all this Uriel stuff mean? Like, I'm of course I do not see all of it, so my theory is just a theory. But again, we're dealing with Moses here, and what does Moses say? Moses says eye for an eye. Now, if you say, you see, I mean, people get that wrong if they say that with a meaning of revenge, because people will say eye for an eye and they will mean revenge. But if you say it like that, then that's not how Moses meant. Because for Moses, good and evil is within the heart. It is within the law. Freedom and tyranny are within the law, not within the form of government. So, what am I getting at here? Freedom and tyranny are within the law, not within the government. So, good and evil are not within the will. Okay, getting back to the will thing. Good and evil are within the heart. And so, and this is the teachings of Moses, because Moses many times lies, you know, just like Enoch lies. Like at one point he's weeping for the wicked, and he's totally lying. But it's this idea of an innocent heart can do all things. I think this is what they would teach. And so what does this terrorist stuff mean, right? What the terrorist stuff, I believe, means, again, because like I definitely do not see all of this Uriel stuff. And I would definitely love help with this Uriel stuff. But what I'm hearing is that when a man tries to intimidate another man, right, he's trying to terrorize them. Right? If someone's not at peace, then they're gonna, make you without peace. There are terrorists out there. Like, this is human behavior, I think, is what he would be talking about. Again, this is like moral philosophy. If you can see correctly, then that's the coup de grace. That's it. That's all you need to do. That's see properly. And so I think this is his description. So, like, okay, here we go. Why don't we think about a Karen, right? So what I think Enoch would be saying is that you can Karen a Karen, right? You can Karen a Karen. You can betray a betrayer. You can kill a murderer, right? You can steal from a thief, right? And so here's the part, right? So since good and evil are in the heart, you can't see another man's heart ever. Judgment, like, this goes back to who are you to judge me? Right? That guy was right. Like, Moses isn't anybody to judge that man. Right? And so for the word that Moses uses is measurement. Right? Measurement. And okay, so it's not personal. If you make it personal, then that's not of the heavens. It's not personal. It's just business. It's just business. I think that's what he is. That's what he is saying with this Uriel stuff. So he's saying, like, this is like kind of almost also revolutionary type stuff. He's like, go terrorize those bitches. Right? This is Uriel, the terrorist. Like, in heaven, they're watching us. Right? And they're cheering us on. Right? And what do they want to see? According to Enoch. Right? According to Enoch, what story do they want to see? Right? They want to see gangster. You know? It's like, what movie do you want to watch tonight, guys? Gangster. Gangster. Gangster, right? And God's like, oh, sorry, children, the men of earth are unrighteous. It's going to be comedy night. I mean, this I think is Enoch's heaven. Like, it's shocking, I think. But I don't know. What do you think? Like, of course, I would love a discussion on this Uriel stuff, but I think maybe I'm on the right path with this terrorizing the terrorizers. Karening the Karens. I think that's what Enoch would say, not me, but I think this is what he is saying. I don't know. I would love your thoughts. Bye.